Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So let's talk turkey, literally. I want to talk about it over lunch, or in this case, about lunch. I read a statistic that took me by surprise. It turns out that McDonald's does not have the most amount of fast food restaurants in America. There is another chain that has more restaurants in the U.S., more restaurants than McDonald's and Burger King combined. What is it? What do you think? It's Subway. Eat fresh. Mazel tov. Well, eat kind of fresh. According to the latest count, I looked this up earlier, Subway has 24,798 restaurants in North America. That's a lot of sandwiches. And speaking of sandwiches, let's see if you can do it again. What's the most popular sandwich that Subway sells? Turkey. It's the turkey. All right, turkey breast sandwich, which means that here in America, the number one lunch item that we're buying daily is a turkey breast sandwich. It turns out that Americans are kind of obsessed with turkey. I'm not talking about the country. It's estimated that the average American, this is crazy, average American eats about 16 pounds of turkey a year. About 736 million pounds of turkey are consumed in this country every year. 736 million pounds. 88% of Americans say that they eat turkey on Thanksgiving. What are the other 12% doing? I don't know. Apparently, which comes out to 46 million turkeys that are eaten just on Thanksgiving Day. 46 million. What about the other holidays? Well, 22 million turkeys are eaten on Christmas Day, and another 19 million turkeys are consumed on Easter Sunday. That is a lot of bird. Turkeys are such an American icon that Ben Franklin once wrote a letter to his daughter proposing that the turkey be the national bird of America. Now, that didn't fly, but neither do turkeys. Wow. I guess my question is, why turkey? It's obviously delicious, but historians have already dispelled the myth that turkeys were served at the first Thanksgiving dinner. Spoiler alert, the Pilgrims and the Native Americans ate deer meat back in 1621. So why has it become the go-to sandwich meat in the home or at the deli counter? And the even bigger question I want to ask tonight, is turkey kosher? Bum, bum, bum. I can see the concerned look on your faces. Rabbi, you've already taken away our pork chops and our shrimp from us. Don't ruin our lunch plans. Turkey's all we have left. It's going to be okay, everyone, I promise. I just want to have an honest conversation about what's going on in our Parsha for the week. So let's talk a little bit about Parshat Re'eh, because this Parsha talks a lot about kashrut, a lot about Jewish dietary laws. We're told that animals that live in the water that have fins and scales are kosher to eat, hence the reason why catfish and eels are out. They don't have scales. And the reason why shellfish is out, they don't have fins or scales. We're also told that mammals have to chew the cud. We see a lot of that here in Texas. They have to have a split hoof. Pigs certainly have a split hoof. They almost look like they're wearing high heels. They don't chew the cud. And while rabbits chew the cud, unfortunately, they don't have a split hoof. They have soft little bun-bun feet. There are animals that are totally kosher, but we don't usually try and eat them. For instance, when is the last time you had giraffe? Anyone? Just a side note, in order to shecht something, to slaughter it kosher, the blade has to be twice the length of the animal's neck. So if anybody wants to shecht a giraffe, it's quite a blade. In this Parsha, we're also given instructions about kosher birds. We're told that birds are kosher to eat. However, we're told that the list of these birds has to be listed in the Torah itself. Luckily, in our Parsha, we're given a list of birds that are fit to eat. And likewise, a list of birds that the Torah doesn't want us to eat. But allow me to tell you something that you already know. The Torah is a collection of documents that was written in antiquity in the Middle East, long, long before North America would be discovered by the Europeans, much less colonized. So, dear friends, unfortunately, the turkey is not found in the Torah in either of the eat or do not eat lists. Dun, dun, dun. This presents a kosher dilemma. Is our favorite Thanksgiving bird kosher to eat? Now, I should say before I continue that it's very difficult to present any sort of conclusion to anything within the framework of Jewish tradition because there's always that one guy who objects to everything. Well, it's always that guy. While there are definitely outliers with regard to the turkey, almost universally, turkey gets a pass in Jewish law because it meets the criteria for kosher birds that are laid out in the Torah, mainly that it is not a bird of prey. However, there are some that still don't think that turkey is kosher. There must be in that 12% I was talking about earlier. And all I can say is those people are missing out. But in all seriousness, I think it comes down to this. When we have an unresolved issue within Jewish tradition, we have a choice. We can decide to be lenient and accepting, or we can decide to put up the shields and not gamble on any new idea. However, within this Parsha itself exists a very interesting concept, almost at the very end of it. God tells us that after we count the Omer, we're supposed to celebrate the Feast of Weeks, which of course what we have come to know as Shavuot. We're told that the way to celebrate this is what the Torah tells us, quote, rejoice before Adonai your God with your son and daughter, your male and female worker, the Levite in your community, and the stranger in your community. Now obviously one expects to celebrate holidays with their family, and a Levite would have some rapport with other members of the community. But what's really interesting is the idea that God wants us to celebrate with the ger, which is the stranger. By the way, sometimes this word is translated as foreigner, someone unknown to the community. Why does God want us to bring the unknown person into our community? Why does God want us celebrating with someone who could potentially be devious or even harmful to us? Well, interestingly enough, I think this is the message of Thanksgiving itself. While the settlers of Plymouth weren't stupid, they were fully underprepared for how to survive in this new world. And had the Native Americans not shown them planting and hunting techniques, they surely would not have been able to sustain their new colony. They even write this themselves. Had the natives not welcomed us, the stranger, it's arguable that we might not even be sitting here in this room tonight. So with that spirit in mind, I want to address the question I asked earlier. Is turkey kosher? Well, I like to think that when Torah leaves us a gap to fill in, we should accept the uncertainty. Turkey is delicious, and it certainly fits the other criteria, so why not include it? We already have so many food prohibitions that we have to deal with. Why add another one? Furthermore, we Jews are already skipping Christmas and Easter dinners with our Christian neighbors. Do we want to skip another American holiday? I think not. We should befriend the stranger and do so with a turkey sandwich in hand. That's the American way. I think that's the Jewish way, and if you don't like it, then you can quit it cold turkey. Shabbat shalom.